Hey, you crazy wrestling fans. Welcome to the Wrestlemania 32 recap. Wrestlemania 32. I think it was a really good Wrestlemania, honestly. We actually had a record-breaking attendance record at AT&T Stadium in Dallas, Texas. There was a lot of action. The first match on the kickoff show was the United States Championship match, as Kalisto defended his United States title against Ryback. Ryback comes out and the crowd is booing him. I think they were booing him to the point that they didn't even want to see him compete at all. So this is what happens. Ryback is pulling Kalisto by the legs, and he's in the corner, and he's trying to grab onto anything, so he grabs onto the middle turnbuckle pad. The turnbuckle becomes exposed at that point, and then Kalisto hits Ryback in the left knee, and he hits the middle turnbuckle. Kalisto hits the Salida del Sol, and he wins the match. Ryback is officially buried, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, he is officially buried. I don't understand it. They left a lot of money on the table with this guy. That's horrible, man. It really is. They really could have made a star out of him, because I really think that he would have made it big. He had a really big following in his time. The second match on the pre-show was the 10 Diva Tag Team match. The Total Divas taking on Bad and Blonde. Lana was not officially in the match. You really had a lot of talent in this match. They just didn't showcase their talent to their full capability, at least in my opinion. Brie Bella makes Naomi tap out to the Yes Lock, securing the victory for her team, the Total Divas. My biggest reaction out of this entire match was the makeup that these women wore at this event. A lot of them had really dark lipstick and just like, they just stood out. I mean, it's WrestleMania, so they went all out with their makeup and, getting dressed up and everything. I'm a guy, I look at stuff like that. I can't help that, so just bear with me. Later on in the kickoff show, Lita brings out the Women's Championship. It's no longer called the Divas Championship. It's now the Women's Championship. Also, it's not called the Divas Division anymore. It's called the Women's Division now. Lita unveils the title, and it practically looks like a replica of the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. I'm telling you, the design is practically a carbon copy of the WWE World Heavyweight Championship belt. I honestly didn't like that. I think they should have had their own design to the championship just to set apart the women's division from the other divisions in WWE. The third match on the kickoff show was the Usos versus the Dudley Boys. It was not a bad match. The Usos picked up the victory. The Usos put the Dudleys on top of the tables, and they do splashes from the top rope to the Dudley Boys, putting them both through tables. We kick off WrestleMania 32 with Fifth Harmony singing America the Beautiful. I'm not familiar with that group, but there was a girl on the left side that was looking really good. I'm just saying. We start out WrestleMania 32 with the WWE Intercontinental Championship ladder match. Just like last year, WrestleMania 31. Kevin Owens defended his Intercontinental Championship against Sami Zayn, The Miz, Zack Ryder, Dolph Ziggler, and Stardust. I think it could have went a little bit longer, but ladder matches are probably better off not being too long because you don't want these guys to get really hurt. Ladder matches are very dangerous matches. A ladder match is a career-shortening match. Let's just put it like that. As The Miz is going to grab the championship, Zack Ryder shoves him off the ladder and grabs the title. We have a new Intercontinental Champion. Zack Ryder's father comes in the ring, starts celebrating with him. It was awesome. That was a cool moment. He really deserved it too. We had AJ Styles versus Chris Jericho. Not for nothing, they probably didn't even have to do this match at WrestleMania, considering the fact that they already had fought handful of times already. So by having these guys fight at Mania, it really wasn't that big of a deal at this point. It was a good match. Not going to say it wasn't a good match. It did not steal the show, as I had predicted, but it was still a good match. Styles jumps off the top rope. Jericho intercepts him and hits him with a code breaker. 1, 2, 3. Jericho wins the match at WrestleMania 32. I don't really see Jericho's victory burying Styles. However, I don't really see the logic of him losing at his first WrestleMania if they're actually trying to give him a good push. However, I don't really see it as that big of a deal. Losses like that, even though that was a big loss, may not mean that much because he still had a really big following going into WWE. So I think that will still help him down the line. As opposed to him just being a newcomer and just losing a huge match at WrestleMania, and then that's the last time you see him. I don't think that's what's going to happen with Styles. I think he's going to be around for a while. The 6-man tag team match. The New Day take on the League of Nations. This match was not for the WWE Tag Team Championships. I thought the match was. I thought it originally was going to be a 3-on-4 match. They changed it to a 6-man tag team match, and there was no championships on the line in this match. The New Day, which consists of Big E, Kofi Kingston, and Xavier Woods, took on the League of Nations, which were Rusev, Alberto Del Rio, and Sheamus. King Barrett was at ringside, however, he did not compete. The New Day and League of Nations match was not really a bad match. It's just a match we've seen so many times before that I don't think it's that big of a deal. Sheamus hits Xavier Woods with the bro kick and gets the pinfall victory. As the League of Nations are beating up the New Day, Shawn Michaels' music hits. And then, right after that, Mick Foley's music hits. And then, of course, Stone Cold Steve Austin's music hits. Oh, man. All three of these guys come out and clean house and rid of the League of Nations. Then there was this funny spot where the New Day start dancing with Shawn Michaels, Mick Foley, and Steve Austin. At one point, you actually see Steve Austin starting to dance. At the end, Stone Cold ends up giving the Stone Cold Stunner to Xavier Woods. Austin had a Dallas 316 t-shirt as opposed to Austin 316. He wore that same shirt when he did the podcast with Mick Foley. We have the no-holds-barred street fight where Dean Ambrose takes on Brock Lesnar. Honestly, I think this match should have been a little bit higher in the card, but it really isn't that big of a deal. It was not a bad match. Ambrose sets off a fire extinguisher into Lesnar's face. Ambrose brings out a whole bunch of chairs and throws them into the ring. And finally, Dean Ambrose gets his barbed wire bat. The infamous barbed wire bat. However, it still was not enough to tame the beast. Brock Lesnar F5's Dean Ambrose on all those chairs that Ambrose brought into the ring in the first place. 1, 2, 3, and Lesnar gets the pinfall victory. I don't know what to say about Ambrose, man. I really don't. I'll put it to you like this. With Ambrose, I think he has enough of a following to be like maybe the number 4 or number 3 guy if he actually wins 1 or 2 out of all of the big matches that he has. He has had so many big matches, and he has come up short practically every time. I don't know what to say about it anymore. I really don't. We had the Hall of Fame Class of 2016 segment. Each one of the inductees are on stage, and they announce each one of the inductees of the Class of 2016 Hall of Fame. We have the triple threat match for the Divas Championship, as Becky Lynch and Sasha Banks challenge Charlotte for her Divas title. If you're a fan of women's wrestling, this was the match that you wanted to watch. All three of these ladies were making their WrestleMania debut in this match. It was unbelievable. It really was. However, how does Charlotte retain her title? As I predicted, with assistance from her father. Once again, Charlotte has Becky Lynch in the figure 8, which is a figure 4 with a bridge. Sasha Banks tries to go and break up the submission, and guess who holds her back? Ric Flair, Charlotte's father. That's right. Becky Lynch taps out. Charlotte retains her Divas Championship. I am not impressed at all with Charlotte whatsoever. It's just the way it is. We have the Hell in a Cell match with Shane McMahon against The Undertaker. If The Undertaker loses, his legacy at WrestleMania is over, which means he will no longer be able to compete at WrestleMania. However, if Shane does defeat The Undertaker, he will be in control of Monday Night Raw. This was a really good match. It really was. Shane put up a fight. He did not back down from The Undertaker once. Like I predicted. Shane is a tough motherfucker, man. He really is. At one point, Shane gets these bolt cutters to try to pry open a part of the cell to go outside of it. Undertaker picks him up, throws him into that part of the cell, and they break it that way. These guys find themselves on top of the barricade, and Shane gets a sleeper hold on The Undertaker. He has it on for a good while, too. Undertaker shifts Shane around and throws himself into the table to break the sleeper hold. Shane goes crashing into the table. Somehow, Shane finds a toolbox. Shane hits The Undertaker with a toolbox full of tools. This lays out The Undertaker long enough for Shane to go on top of the cell. The Undertaker's laid out on the table, and Shane goes all the way to the top of the cell. Now, we knew that Shane was going to do something crazy like this. Everybody knew it. We know how Shane is. We know the risks that he loves to take. As far as he's concerned, it's all on the line for him. Shane McMahon does an elbow drop from the top of the cell. However, The Undertaker moves out of the way. Shane McMahon goes crashing through the table. He looked like he practically landed elbow first. That shit was crazy, man. It really was. Listen up, crazy wrestling fans. This is probably the realest thing that I'm going to say in this entire video. Everybody knows that wrestling is predetermined. We all know that The Undertaker went into WrestleMania 30 facing Brock Lesnar, knowing that his streak was going to end. Since The Undertaker lost at WrestleMania 30, I honestly believe that is the reason why The Undertaker moved out of the way when Shane tried to hit him with an elbow drop from on top of the cell. When I witnessed that at the Hell in a Cell match at WrestleMania 32, that is the only thing that was going through my head. Leave comments down below and let me know what you think of that statement I just made. Even if he would have hit him, he still would have hurt himself. When you dive off of high things like that, you hurt yourself whether you hit your opponent or not, okay? Obviously, you hurt yourself more when you do not hit your opponent, but it still hurts either way. As Shane is on his knees, he goes like this to The Undertaker. Motherfucker has got some balls, man. He really does. The Undertaker carries Shane into the ring. I think when I was watching, I actually said he's carrying the carcass into the ring to finish it off. Unbelievable, man. Undertaker takes Shane into the ring. Shane is still on his knees. One last time. He goes like this. Bring it. Come on. Keep it coming. He just will not back down from The Undertaker. Undertaker goes just like this to Shane. Pats him on the cheek. Gives him a tombstone. 1, 2, 3. The Undertaker wins and keeps his WrestleMania legacy intact. Obviously, I was very happy about the outcome of this match. Shane McMahon was carried out on a stretcher. When I was watching this match, I had a bad feeling that something was going to happen. However, as he was being carried away to the backstage area, he goes like this. So, I'd like to think that he wasn't as hurt as maybe everybody originally thought he was. So, that's obviously a good thing. That was a fucking war, man. It really was. We have the 3rd annual Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. Guess who makes a surprise appearance in this match? Shaquille O'Neal! I am going to be completely honest with you right here. I did not see that coming. I don't think anybody really saw that coming. Aside from the internet wrestling fans, they already knew that that was going to happen. But we're definitely not going there, now are we? Shaq gets in the ring, squares off against the Big Show. That to me was definitely a WrestleMania moment. It really was. I didn't think I'd see Shaq at WrestleMania 32. Did not think I'd see him in the Battle Royal at all. And just the fact of seeing him actually square off against the Big Show, just seeing these two giants. It's just the idea of seeing these two giants square off against each other. The Big Show actually has to look up to Shaq because Shaq is actually taller than the Big Show. Slightly taller, but he is taller than the Big Show. That shit's crazy, man. It really is. In the beginning, you know, people try to step up to Shaq and the Big Show and they just get squashed down. This Battle Royal served more as comic relief than anything else, I think. It's all entertainment. And you have to have different types of entertainment when you're on a global scale like that. There's only so many big guys in wrestling to begin with. Obviously, Shaquille O'Neal is not a professional wrestler. But he was in this match and he is a big motherfucker. So everybody gangs up on Shaq and the Big Show and they both get eliminated from this match. Honestly, after that, it was really nothing else too special. I thought Kane was going to win this match. I actually wanted Mark Henry to win the match. But who ends up winning this match? None other than Baron Corbin from NXT. His first appearance on the main roster. So he ended up winning the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. So he ended up winning the 3rd annual Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. After the Battle Royal, the Dallas cheerleaders come out and start dancing. They basically are the introduction for The Rock. The Rock comes out with this flamethrower. They have The Rock in big, huge letters. The Rock sets on fire these big, huge letters. That symbolizes that he's on fire. See? He comes out saying that, you know, WrestleMania 32 broke the WrestleMania indoor attendance record. The record was 101,763. That's how many fans were in attendance to see that event. That's unbelievable, man. It really is. You know, they get people from all over the world to see WrestleMania. I don't think people really understand that. People come from all over the world just to say they were at WrestleMania. That record broke WrestleMania 3's record of 93,100 173. I'm really kind of disappointed that they actually broke that record, only because I thought it just set apart from any other WrestleMania. I didn't really want that record to be broken. However, it was broken. There's no way you're not going to break records if you have the capability to do so. That is a real record. That's not fake. That's an actual number of how many fans were there. So it's not like it's anything that they can control. I understand that. I'm just kind of sad to see that, you know, WrestleMania 3 with Hogan and Andre, I'm just kind of sad to see that that record was actually broken. I thought that no other WrestleMania could ever pass that. But it did. It means that they're constantly progressing and getting bigger and bigger. So that is a good thing. It's not really that big of a deal. Just kind of sad to see that record got broken. I'll never forget this as long as I live. The Rock says that, you know, people in the crowd or whoever's watching around the world, you know, the millions watching, the millions and millions of Rock's fans watching WrestleMania, he says that they're going to go home tonight and make WrestleMania babies. I'll never forget that, man. That's some funny shit. It really is. So the lights go out, and guess who comes out? Yes, good old Wyatt family. Minus Luke Harper because he is injured. These guys were not on the card at all. They were not even in the Battle Royal. They actually enter the ring. They don't just appear on the sides of the ring like they always do. You have 100,000 fans waving their cell phones. That was some crazy shit to see. It really was. After Bray Wyatt starts interrogating The Rock in his crazy, demented way that he does, The Rock challenges any member of the Wyatt family. He sends Eric Rowan in. They have an official match. He rock bottoms Eric Rowan and pins him in 6 seconds. A WrestleMania record. When I saw that Bray Wyatt would not get in the ring and face The Rock, I was screaming, "You fucking pussy! Get in the ring and face his ass." If they actually are going to set it up to have these guys have a match somehow, maybe at SummerSlam or something, that would make a lot of sense. However, I don't really think that's the case. I think they do these segments like this just to get everybody on WrestleMania. That's just the way it is, I guess. The Wyatts start ganging up on The Rock, and who comes out to save him but John Cena? Yes, the return of Cena. Cena helped The Rock clear the ring of the Wyatts. That was a cool moment there, you know. For anybody that doesn't know, The Rock and John Cena had two classic WrestleMania main events. The first one was WrestleMania 28, and the second one was WrestleMania 29. The first one was not for the title. The second one was. The Rock was the champion, and he defended against John Cena. John Cena beat him, and these guys had such a show of respect for each other. They were shaking hands and embracing at the end of that event. They definitely have a lot of respect for each other. We have the WWE World Heavyweight Championship match. Triple H defends his WWE World Heavyweight Championship against Roman Reigns. Just keep in mind, it's after 11 o'clock before this match even starts, okay? Stephanie McMahon comes out on this crazy stage that they built at the entrance ramp. She starts belittling the crowd, talking all this shit. Just keep in mind that if Shane McMahon actually did win that match, she would have had a different tone, okay? She probably wouldn't even have been at ringside if Shane won that match against The Undertaker. She looked like one of those dominatrix bitches. All she needed was a whip. Then there's these guys with black robes on both sides of them, holding WWE Championship replica belts, and they're wearing skull masks. One thing I will say about Triple H is his WrestleMania entrances are unbelievable. They really are. Him and John Cena probably have some of the best WrestleMania entrances you will ever see. The starting bell time was 11:18. The first good while of this match was actually very technical. It was straight wrestling. I absolutely love that. At one point, Reigns actually hits the spear on Triple H. The referee gets a 1 count, and Stephanie pulls the ref out of the ring. Stephanie McMahon gets in the ring after Roman Reigns gets his second cover from that spear. Stephanie McMahon gets in the ring and checks on Triple H. Triple H sees that Roman Reigns is coming. Triple H moves out of the way, and Roman Reigns hits Stephanie McMahon with a spear. Obviously, he did not mean to do that. Stephanie McMahon is laying outside of the ring. However, she still has the wherewithal to hand Triple H a sledgehammer from under the ring. Triple H tries to hit Reigns with the sledgehammer. Reigns ducks. Reigns bounces off the ropes, hits Triple H with a spear. 1, 2, 3. We have a new WWE World Heavyweight Champion. Roman Reigns is now a 3-time WWE World Heavyweight Champion. The concluding bell of this match was at 11:45. making this match a total of 27 minutes and 11 seconds. After that match, after almost 7 hours of wrestling total, 5 hours of WrestleMania, we still have a WrestleMania video package. It was not in order, but we still had it. I don't think it was a bad WrestleMania. Anybody that did not watch this WrestleMania, I advise you to watch it. The world title match was really good. The Undertaker match was awesome. The ladder match was a good one also. That was a good match. Ambrose and Lesnar, I didn't not like it. Honestly, I do think that this was a really good WrestleMania main event. I know I've had my gripes about this. I've been talking about it for the past month and a half. I did say it was going to be a good match. It just didn't have to be for the title. Whatever. It's already done. Reigns already won. That's it. It's over. It's history. Leave comments down below if you were at WrestleMania 32. Leave comments if you enjoyed WrestleMania 32. Leave comments about your favorite matches, favorite moments. I hope everybody enjoyed this video. I'm going to get the fuck out of here, and I will see you when I see you.